Okay, so here we are, IT Park, Tashkent, Uzbekistan.
So we're showing a demo of PointAI for
This is a demo of, what's the name of the company again?
PointAI.
Point?
AI.
PointAI.
So right now I'm texting our bot that, hey guys, I lost my keys from our room.
This is going to a chat GPT enabled chatbot, right?
Yeah. My boss can fire me. Can you please help me? I'm sending the request, and now bot is analyzing like what customers feeling right now, what his emotion and what he want to see from us. And bot is not only answering like a pre-written response which was in a database. He understands that he feels a bit bad, and that's why he's starting with, I'm sorry to hear that you lose the keys. And after that he's giving the answer which was in a database of this bot.
Got it.
So in our case it's not like a pre-written answer, it's like a customized answer for each customers to give a personal experience.
Got it.
Give it like human touch experience.
Got it. So that would be pretty much the normal experience of somebody using the service.
Yeah.
And to summarize, I think the most interesting thing is that, by the way, I guess we're recording.
Yeah.
But that was such a great demo. I didn't want to miss it. And I think the highlights so far are that you have only existed since January, and you have your first client as of 2 months ago.
Yeah. And we actually right now, this month we probably will close 6 customers.
Wow.
It's not only like we will close, we actually will get paid from them.
So is anybody surprised by how fast this is happening?
I think one of the key factors why we're doing it so fast, because we was focusing on our traction from our first day, even we'll not have any product.
You are focusing on traction?
Yeah, we're focusing on getting more customers when we will not have any product. That's helping really out. Like we was focusing on selling for the 6 months, and that's why we have results right now.
That's incredible. So you're going to be, would you say that you're going to be profitable by the end of your first year of existing?
Actually, I mean, we're not paying salaries to each of us. That's why we're profitable right now. Even like our customers paying like a lot, and we're spending all this money, all like cost services to expand and grow faster. But even after that, we're getting some profits.
And what's the money needed to grow? It's not marketing, right? Because you figured out marketing. And now there'll be word of mouth, I think.
Yeah, I mean, our burn rate monthly.
Yeah, burn rate, but I'm also curious, what do you need? You have an investor, what do you need the money for? What is he paying for?
In most cases, we use this money for outbound channels. We use like LinkedIn outreach, we use cold emails, cold calls, and we do it every day. We buy leads from some databases, and that's why we need some money. Probably he would add something.
The money that we get from our investors or our clients, we use it for testing new hypotheses, for trying to get more traction, trying to reach out to more people to help them with the problem.
That's really interesting. What's the biggest pain so far?
Biggest pain?
And I should actually, why don't you guys introduce yourself also? First name. Yeah.
My name is Azamat. I'm co-founder and CEO here.
My name is Asad Beg. I'm founding engineer in this PointAI company.
All right, Asad.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Asal Khan. I am CTO and co-founder of this company.
Asad Khan.
Hey there, my name is Sultan. I'm responsible for sales here, and I've been working in sales for 2 years now.
If anybody's wondering, we are meeting at IT Park in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Oh, thank you for the help. For once, I'm not in selfie mode. And this is also part of IT Park, a government-sponsored, it's government-backed initiative.
Yeah.
You guys paid lower personal taxes for...
No, at all.
None at all for a while, and then the company doesn't pay taxes for a while, as part of an incentive to create new companies. You'd say it's working pretty well. Do you have contact with these other what are called resident companies?
So actually, we have not incorporated legally yet, because all our money which we're getting from our customers is getting to our personal accounts.
Wow. You're actually hitting a huge point that I bring up as somebody who teaches law.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is perfect, because I always ask my students, and I ask people I interview, if it becomes, this is the first time it's actually becomes a super interesting issue. Does anybody care that you don't have your legal form yet? Your investors, your customers? Are your customers weirded out by this? Do they know?
No, some of them care, but some of them have contracts. We really have contracts. We have incorporations. We have a solopreneurship with who we can sign a contract.
Okay.
But most of them no.
So you're not signing personally the contracts?
No, we're signing personally.
You are signing personally, okay. By the way, the opera in the background, is this normal in the evening?
Well, they're having a rebranding for a company here that's working for a bank.
They have
So
kind of event
for
there.
today, it's normal.
Is this a live opera singer?
I'm not sure. Not sure.
Is there a tradition of great opera in Tashkent that the world doesn't know about?
Well, we do have opera sessions here. Not
So-
often, but we do have it.
Somebody did say that if there's a chance to see classical music or opera here, that I should.
So,
So it got me wondering, what does the world not know about Tashkent?
Well, just like any other country, we do have classical music. I'm not sure if it's up to the global standards, but it's definitely unique.
Okay. I can say some things are up to global standards or beyond global standards.
Yeah.
Sashlik.
Kebab, yeah.
And
Plov.
Plov and the Silk Road sites.
Yeah.
Um,
Architecture, history.
Samarkand it's not an inflated brand. But so back to maybe the focus of the interview, but I did want to clarify that Uzbekistan is an amazing place to visit. Is it an amazing place to work? Do you feel like, I mean, the deal you're getting from the government sounds like pretty good support. Would you say that it's a lot of people are benefiting? Do you see the impacts? Do you see other companies also quickly?
So think of Uzbekistan as a growing market. You working opportunities here are amazing as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
but you're gonna have to work a lot because it's a growing market. A lot of people don't know about the new things that you're working on. So there has to be a lot of educational content that you're putting out
Yeah.
as an entrepreneur for them to understand what kind of service product you're offering. Versus corporate company in America, they can start any product and most people will understand, will already know what kind of product it is. So there's not a lot of education that needs to happen.
Okay, so educating customers. Back to the legal issues. There's already three huge legal issues that we gotta resolve. One is, when will you incorporate? Is there a disadvantage? I mean, what I tell my students is that there's a risk if you're not incorporated that you have unlimited personal liability.
I don't think it's a disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's actually advantage at start because we're not spending time for incorporation. We're not spending time for learning how to do all the stuff right.
Yeah.
We're just doing it and going next because no one is not asking for it.
Okay, nobody's asking for it. It's not an issue. And I guess the other answer would be, we're not worried about being sued because you're not worth suing, right? You don't have millions, I'm assuming. Okay.
Yeah, well, no millions,
You're-
even not close to it.
Yeah, so you're what we call judgment proof. That
Yeah,
even
most probably when we'll start grow super fast, we'll be incorporated. It will be the next couple of months, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty close because we was super young. We have no time to incorporate yet.
That's so interesting. How long are your days? It sounds like you work intensely and quickly. Are your days very long? What time do you start work? What time do you end work? Do you take weekends?
It depends on our tasks at hand. So say for example we have a lot of tasks to work that have close deadlines. We end up working all nighters or all days. But usually on average I would say anywhere between 8 to 10 hours a day.
8 to 10 a day. Sound right? And do you take 2 days a week for a weekend or one day? No.
No
We
day
have to
off.
keep working.
No offs, no holidays, no weekends.
What was the first part you said?
No offs, no
No,
holidays.
no holidays.
No vacations, no holidays.
Huge next question is about the IP. Yeah, so I asked, you obviously are doing something differently with ChatGPT.
Yep.
That secret is, you haven't filed with the government some kind of protection, I assume. It's just trade secret, right?
No, it's not trade secret. We're telling our customers that we use ChatGPT. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, they know you're using ChatGPT, but the exact things that you're doing differently, you just don't disclose to anybody. It's not like you can, even if you could, you haven't filed anything with the government for intellectual property protection. It's just
We haven't filed for any intellectual property defense, but we're not doing anything that's new. We're just doing it slightly more creative.
And what makes it more creative?
The code that we have written is slightly, the solution that we provide is slightly different from what others do on the market, because not gonna lie to you, there are a lot of the same things that on the market. That's why we have to stand out from the crowd, right? So that's exactly what we're doing.
Okay. I think people watching this will beg me, or they'll criticize me. Why didn't you ask for better specifics of what is different that you're able to get an 80% resolution rate instead of what would average be 50%? So it's a big difference.
It depends on the trained data that's available, previous data, right? For newer startups, if you don't have previous data, of questions and such, it will be very difficult for the AI to give you a proper answer. If it's a new company that's in the market, you don't have a lot of information about your business, you don't have a lot of inquiries from your customers, the AI bot is not going to be able to give you personalized answers.
Excuse my cough. Hopefully I finally learned how to edit and we just cut out the cough. Just in case, pardon the coughs. So contracting is not an issue that you're doing contracts. We covered business formation, we covered intellectual property. The last two items would be of my standard courses, topics that I cover for all students anywhere, is working with other human beings. How have you structured the relationships? Do you have any secrets? Are there any legal aspects to this? For example, are you allowed to hire independent contractors in Uzbekistan? Or is this the kind of country where people have huge labor protection and the moment that you hire somebody, it's difficult to fire them? Is it easy to hire and fire people here? Is it more like the United
They can
States?
hire independent contractors, so we don't have to hire them officially onto the team. So
Okay.
they can be an outside person and still help us.
And the bureau, I heard that the newer president, the one who's currently in power, has loosened the bureaucracy around starting a business. That in general, there's less restrictions. It's much more loose.
Essentially, yes.
You'd agree? Okay. And the last question would be liability, torts. Is there any chance so far, can you imagine, do you ever look at each other and think something could go wrong?
Yep.
Not some kind of science fiction AI takes over the world, but just could your service actually result in a situation where somebody gets hurt? Physically, mentally, business-wise, financially. Do you ever have any kind of discussion of disclaimers or limiting of your liability? Or is this something that you don't worry about?
Well, it's actually a good point that you raise.
Is it? I'm trying to think what could go wrong with delivering flowers. The flowers show up late for an anniversary and maybe somebody results in a very costly divorce. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, if
It's
you
meant to
think
be
about
half
it-
funny and half very tragic.
If you think about it, it's something that we haven't thought of
Yeah.
because we don't see any risks, any liability that could happen. Say, for example, we're bringing the example of our first client, which is a flower delivery shop. The only thing that could happen is, the thing that's happening is that the customer and the bot is chatting with each other. So the only damage that could happen is emotional damage, right? Similar to cyberbullying. But obviously the bot is programmed not to, always to give positive answers. So the risks of that we've never really thought about.
So like in worst case scenario, it will be like, can you contact me with a human, and like bot will not be able to solve a question, and the
Okay.
human will join the chat and solve it by itself. That's why we're not solving like 100% of them. We're solving 80% because there's always some unique things what super hard to predict that it will happen tomorrow.
Yeah. And just one last question about the interface, so we can imagine when we might see your product, what it'll be like. This is basically the kind of service when I am, for example, trying to do something online and I have an issue, engage in our virtual customer service representative. And then you know that you're probably dealing with some kind of AI-enabled chat. That's the context where I'm going to see your work.
The thing is, whenever you're talking with this chatbot, you're not even going to realize it's a bot. It's going to speak to you like a real person does. It's a personalized experience.
Oh, it's not speaking, it's not orally, it's all through written text. Right?
Yes, yes. It's not like you call the bank, you wait on the line for 54 minutes, and then somebody finally gets to you. No, it's all through text.
Okay. But aren't you guys? I've already started to assume that if I click on chat for help, it's going to be automated. Do people really have any doubt in their mind?
No, it's in most cases it's automated, but it's not automated on a level as a human touch experience giving. For example, the bots which are already working and already existing on the market, they're not so powerful as our bots. It's even, you can see there is no powerful chatbots as a ChatGPT right now. So if we are using it in our core like a ChatGPT to give such experience as a human do, there is not even bots who can compete with us. Except the bot who is also using ChatGPT. But right now in the market there is no bots who is using ChatGPT to automate the customer support tools. Like there is few of them.
Really surprising.
Like it's new market, new growing market.
Yeah, but really the first company,
We're not first. One of the first, I think.
One of the first.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else that you guys want to add? Because I think we've covered some of the most important essentials.
Well, from my end, that's everything. Do you guys have anything to add?
And what's been your worst challenge so far? That's the book would not have chapters if there weren't some kind of critical existential challenge.
Well,
It's-
one of our biggest challenges is trying to grow here in the Uzbek market, because a lot of the businesses here don't see AI as an investment at the moment for their business. They think of it as an expense only, because not a lot of people rely on chatbots to speak with services to get their problems resolved. People still call you over the phone to get their problems resolved.
It's interesting. It hasn't caught on yet.
Yes.
And there's somewhere else I visited where people emphasized that internally that we are not a big enough market on our own. It is essential to look at the wider world. You started to look immediately in the United States. You said it is through Slack.
Actually, one of our first moves was to grow here in the Uzbek market, but that actually did not work out for us, like for the previous reason that I explained. That's why we started looking externally for different countries, and the US market was one of our first choices.
Why is that?
US market is much more grown. It's easier to grow there. A lot of businesses already have implemented something similar, so you're not introducing something new to them, so that they won't be scared away. They won't have a lot of questions. They have already something similar. It's just an improved version of that.
All right. All right. So the biggest challenge was new customers, growing in Uzbekistan, but you've resolved it by going outside. And what do you think is have you done a cost estimate, or not a cost estimate, an estimate on the number of potential clients in this country?
In this country,
Yeah, in Uzbekistan.
1,000 probably.
Roughly 1,000 versus hundreds of thousands,
Millions.
millions in the world. Got
Yeah,
it.
probably maybe a couple of thousands, but I don't think that there will be more than 10,000.
So this is very much the kind of market that you have to be externally focused if you want to really grow a lot. Is the goal, by the way, so the goal of so many entrepreneurs in the United States is to sell their company for a lot of money to somebody else, and that's when the investor gets their money back. That's when you guys become fabulously rich. Or to IPO, to take the company public and sell shares to the public. And typically the founders get rich and they don't really care if the share price might fall after that, right? All right. Which is your fantasy? Is the fantasy to never sell and just grow this and keep it privately held? Or you want to sell it? Or do you want to take it public?
The thing is, we're open to sort of both options. If a different company wants to buy us out, obviously there has to be a long process of deals, because we're going to have to work for that company as well, because that company is most likely going to buy us out for the founding team with what we built, right? So if we will most likely accept it if we see our product growing in their business, right? So that to make sure they're not just buying us out to take us out of the competition, but to help us to keep growing our company and our product.
It super depends on the offer what we will get tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Any final thoughts, especially since a lot of our viewers are not from Uzbekistan?
Well, I would, recommend to visit here, because there's a lot of places that we all haven't seen, a lot of unique places, and Uzbekistan is definitely one of them. It's not one of the seven wonders of the world.
It should be. Samarkand should be.
Samarkand should be.
Even maybe Khiva, I don't know.
You haven't been to Bukhara?
I have, yeah. Bukhara and Khiva and Samarkand, the essentials of the Silk Road.
Yes. So
And
those
all-
places are a must visit for
Yeah.
anyone that hasn't been outside of the US or their country. If you're into history, architecture, this is a must visit country. So yeah.
And last question: if anybody is watching this long for some kind of gem of travel advice, this don't take this the wrong way, but somebody said that one of the things that was so unique and really thought-provoking and very moving, like a lifetime memory, besides the Silk Road stuff, was the Aral Sea and how much it's gone down, and the shipwrecks and the sort of ghost towns. And the people that I talked to a week ago said, "No, it's not that special." Maybe because they were embarrassed that it's not like a beautiful thing. But would you say, have you been there first of all, or is it the kind of place that locals are like, "Why would I visit that? That's depressing."
It's a good place to visit, except it has its health dangers as well because of the salty winds.
Ah,
So it's gonna affect your lungs. So it's not like recommended to stay there for long, but it's a good place to visit.
but it's very profound. It's like visiting a place where historic tragedies happened.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not something that you have a good time, but it's very profound and moving.
You
and-
learn from history, like
Yeah.
not to repeat the same mistakes. But yeah, it's a place you can visit, but not for long.
Okay, so we got that down, and then maybe one more thought about the business climate here. Are you in touch with other startup founders? Is this the kind of place, IT Park, where you guys meet a lot? Yeah, I'm getting a big nod from you.
Well, IT Park actually hosts a lot of startup related events where we meet with other startup founders, and we just catch up on what's happening, what's new that they're trying, how's their growth going, what they can, what they've learned since our last meeting and such.
And you guys, there's a culture of sharing. People are not scared to give away
Not
secrets.
a lot. People are actually quite open with what they do, and so are we. So that's a good thing about it.
Very cool.
We sort of teach each other, and that's what I really like.
If you had an estimate on the number of other startups right now that you're, first of all, total, and then the ones that you're actually like excited about, thinking, oh crap, they have a great idea.
Total number of startups?
Yeah, that you've interacted with.
It's around 100, I think. It's not a lot. I mean, each founder know each other like here.
It's a close community of people.
Yeah.
Not a small community because there are not so many startups.
Would you say the total number that you've ever met, 50?
Maybe 100,
Maybe 100.
Maybe
Slightly
200.
more than 100.
And then the ones that you're, like in anything, there's the total number, and then there's the ones that you're like, oh my god, they have such a good idea, and wow.
Well, every idea is unique.
Yeah.
So
Here's an important question.
yeah.
Are you guys, about your own idea, wow.
I was
You
just saying that all our idea is well.
Only your idea as well.
So we can finish interview here.
You're talking as if potential investors will see this. Do you need more potential investors? Sounds like you're all set. If you got money coming in, you have an investor backing you.
Yeah.
You're all set. You don't need to do any investor pitching, or do you?
Well, I mean, I think we probably will do it, but I mean, we're actually also talking with the investors right now to raise our next round because we'll probably always need the money to grow fast because we're not only looking for money, we're also looking for a network.
What's the minimum that you need?
We can start to talk with the 50K.
Okay, we'll talk after the recording. But all right, I'm very impressed. Thank you very much, guys. Rahmat. Am I saying it right?
Yes.
Let's see your reaction to that. Am I getting it right?
You have very good pronunciation.
Okay.
Good
all right,
pronunciation.
Good. All right. Any final words?
Come to Uzbekistan.
Come to
It's
Uzbekistan?
super cheap. It's super cheap.
Is it true the trams are like 30, 40 cents equivalent US?
10 cents.
10 cents?
Yes,
100? Roughly 100? No, 1,000, roughly.
1,000.
I heard
1,400.
1,400?
It's
I
like
heard
11 or 12 cents. Like
somebody
it's
in
super cheap.
somebody in one of these cities, maybe it was Bukhara, said it was like 300 or 400.
No. It shouldn't be like that.
Okay.
It's
14 cents.
40 cents.
14.
14.
Yeah, so it's even cheaper.
Wow. Yeah, and you can have a decent meal for 2 people, very filling with beverages.
Yeah.
Am I crazy, or was it really totaling something like, I'm remembering like $10?
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. So it's kind of an investor's dream come true. I was writing to somebody, it feels like Central Eastern Europe 20 to 30 years ago, where you just couldn't believe the quality. Thank you for the help. The quality and the price point, but the dark side, obviously if you're from the outside, wow, it's so cheap. What about for you guys though? The flip side that you don't see as a visitor is the wages, and the average compensation is so low. That's why the prices are so low. Is it the kind of thing that's painful? Do you feel restricted, like you can't leave the country because the prices are so high anywhere that you would want to go? Is the economic reality of the average person still kind of rough because of the low compensation?
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
Average salary is like $2-3 per
There
hour.
is a huge difference between Tashkent, with the capital of the Uzbekistan, and other regions, because people in the regions make a lot of
A lot less.
Yeah, a lot less money than people in Tashkent. Maybe we are from the capital, that's why we don't feel this. But people from regions, I think it's more, the life for them is more difficult.
It's very visible, yeah.
Yeah,
How fast is it changing? It's been about 30 years of independence, right?
yeah.
How is it changing faster more recently?
Last 5 years is changing super fast.
Yeah.
Last 5 years?
Yeah, it's super fast changing. Like economic also is growing super fast. Like even the cities building super fast. Everything being more modern, more like European.
That's actually what I keep saying.
We have felt this the rise in the wages in foreign investment in Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
We have felt this.
A lot of it Western, Asian, or Russian, or what do you see on the market?
It's mostly Western countries investing into Uzbekistan at the moment.
Yeah.
A lot of into manufacturing. That's our biggest market. So yeah, the government is doing a really good job with that.
Yeah.
So last 5 years, we've seen a huge growth in the economy.
And we're located in between
We are
different
a landlocked
civilizations. Yeah,
country.
we are between China and between Western countries. That's why
Yep.
we can get investments
Yes.
from all over these places.
Yeah, no, that hit me very much on this trip that you guys are in such an important spot. It's incredible that so many people, especially in the United States, do not know more. All right, very last question.
Sure.
You guys speak English so well. This conversation has been completely friction free. Why do you speak English so well? Is it watching stuff on YouTube? Is it films, pop culture, or your education?
We're all studying in foreign university, that's why.
Foreign universities. Where'd you guys study?
I personally studied in an American university. It's called Webster University.
Webster University. Where?
They have a branch here, but they're actually located in St. Louis,
Okay.
in the States. Yeah, so
And
that's
you got,
where I study.
You got a 4-year undergraduate degree from them.
Yes. Well, I'm studying there right now. I'm doing my undergraduate studies with them.
Okay.
And we study at a branch of Korean University in Ha. It's one of the best private universities in Korea, and they have branch here. The campus is located behind this building.
Wow.
It is New York, and we are good mates actually.
And you're also
in
studying.
University, yes.
What's the name of the Korean university again?
In Ha.
In Ha.
Inha. Inha.
It stands for Incheon, Hawaii. It was founded by immigrants, Korean immigrants who moved back to Korea after this after the Civil War, and after the World War II, they moved back to Korea and found this university to help develop their country, and named it Incheon, Hawaii.
Wow. Fantastic. And your university?
So I'm studying in British University, it's called University of Westminster.
University of Westminster. This came up. That's right. And they have a presence here.
Yeah.
So you're-
it's one of the first like international universities in Uzbekistan.
You're studying in this university here.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, guys. Thank you. Rahmat again.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
How to end? Maybe we zoom back.
Well, I think the right way. Yeah.
Oh,
Make
yeah,
sure
so
to subscribe,
subscribe to the channel.
like, and comment.
Subscribe, like, comment. Oh my!
Smash that button.
Smash that button. Buy the book. Absolutely, guys. Thank you for the plug.
Sure thing.
Thank you
I
very much.
appreciate it.